Walmart and Amazon might not be the first things that come to mind when you're thinking about entities driving environmental stewardship efforts. But the two giants are helping lead a revival of the carbon market, according to attorney David M. Max Williamson. He spoke during the Mid-South Agricultural and Environmental Law Conference, which was held online again this year due to COVID-19 concerns.
But let me tell you about what's happening now outside of these government programs. So really, and this is global, that there has been a tremendous upswell in the last year or two of commitments by, and you read about this in the press, right, that Walmart or Microsoft or Amazon will make commitments to lower their global footprint, their greenhouse gas footprint. And one of the ways to do that is to invest in carbon credits from a variety of different types of projects, but that means ag as well. So they can buy credits from landfills or from dairy farms that we just talked about from forestry, from industrial emissions reductions projects, a variety. But this trend of companies making voluntary commitments for their sustainability reports has driven an enormous amount of money into the market. And we have a little snippet here from a 2019 market report that says the value of this market is $250 million, but I think that's actually very low. It's a lagging, that's probably from 2018 data. I think today in 2021, it's well over $1 billion and growing exponentially. So that's really driving the market opportunities right now. Now, how is it playing out? How does a carbon credit actually get made? Well, the way the market has evolved is there has to be a third-party verifier or verification standard that is the neutral arbiter of, to put it in a finer point, if you have a farm, and let's look at the dairy context, if you have a farm and you're collecting methane and putting it to use and keeping that methane, which is a powerful greenhouse gas, out of the atmosphere, how do you prove it in order to get a carbon credit? Well, unless you're working in the California, that government program that I was mentioning, you would go to one of these three independent standards. And even in fact, if California's government program actually works through these three standards as well. But these are nonprofit entities basically that have set up technical standards and are sort of a clearinghouse for auditing the integrity of the program. So if you say that you did an agricultural practice on your land that absorbed 100 tons of carbon compared to what would have been absorbed if you hadn't done that practice. And we're talking about things for soil carbon like no-till or precision applied fertilizers or cover crops in the winter, for example, or soil amendments. Those are the kinds of things in the soil carbon space that can be shown scientifically to increase the amount of carbon that's uptaken and then stored in soil and kept out of the atmosphere for global warming purposes. But to prove that you've done that, you would go to one of these three, Climate Action Reserve called CAR or ACR or VCS called VERA, and you would go through a process by which you set up a project, you submit data that proves that these on-the-ground practices have been done, that they've been measured, and that you went out and you got a third-party auditor to come on and verify or guarantee that it had actually been done, and they run the numbers and they'll actually issue the carbon credits from these registries. Once those carbon credits are issued, then you're ready to sell them to the companies that I had mentioned before, to the Amazons of the world or the Walmarts of the world, who are the end buyers of these carbon credits.